What's up, collectors? I hope you all are doing well. Today I'm back with another fragrance review from the house of Men New York. The name of it is Momento, and I'll be back. Un momento. Stay tuned. What's up, collectors? My name is Earl, and this is The Casual Collector. So yeah, I'm back with another review. This House of Men New York, I told you guys before, is becoming one of my favorite fragrance houses. The way they're able to capture the most authentic form of particular fragrances is something that I've really grown to enjoy. I recently reviewed the fragrance Shaman, and now I'm back with my second fragrance review for the House of Men New York, and this one is Momento. So let's get started. So as far as the presentation, it comes in this square black box. Nothing too fancy about the box. It just has the logo and the label on the front. It has the theme of the fragrance and the story on the back. And on the side, it has the volume and chapter. The way Men New York built these fragrances up was by telling the story. And the stories, I believe, are from the perfumers themselves. As far as the bottle, it resembles the box. Square bottle. It has the label and the logo on the front. Nothing on the back and on the sides. And Men New York's logo on the cap. As far as the atomizer, sprays pretty wide. It's described as a timeless scent, one of love and happiness, and one that evokes flashbacks of faded memories. As far as the notes, the top has absinthe, bergamot, lemon, aldehydes, and tarragon. And then the heart, lavender, rose, jasmine, and verbena. And then the base, gaiac woods, opennix, and patchouli. When I first spray on this fragrance, it puts me in the mind of an aromatic barbershop fragrance. One that has a strong opening of lavender, aldehydes, and lemon. It starts out fresh, kind of fruity, but also has like a twinge of spice in it. I believe that tarragon is what gives it that spicy component to it. The lavender, like I said, is very strong. It's a barbershop fragrance, it's a little soapy, but it has like this mysterious element to it. It's kind of on the side of like a seductive type fragrance. So when we think about barbershop fragrances, we think about just masculine, manly fragrances. Fresh, like I said, with like lavenders and patchouli type notes in it. But to me, this fragrance starts out with that barbershop feel, but then it starts to dry down and fade down into something that's a little bit more creamy. Some people say soapy, but I get more of a creamy vibe from it. And the fragrance is something that reminds you of maybe going straight from the barber's chair to meeting that young lady or that person on a date that you're going on. I know I talk about date fragrances a lot, date night fragrances, just date fragrances, period. I like companionship. I like, you know what I'm saying, the vibe of getting the attention of someone else or just being in the presence of someone else in that type of environment. So I grab fragrances that play in those elements, and this is one of those that plays in that element. So when I first tried this, I had a sample. Like I said, I think I have pretty much all of the samples from Men New York, and I'm just starting to piece my fragrances together one by one. This is one of those fragrances that I will wear out of the shower, on my way to bed, and every time I wore it, my wife was like, that is really good, whatever you're wearing, because I wear so many different fragrances. Sometimes she can recognize them, sometimes she can't. And you know, I only had a sample, I didn't have a full bottle, so she's really familiar with some of the bottles that I have. She's like, that is really good. I don't know what it is, but I really enjoy it. And that's what put me in the mind frame of thinking like, this is more than just one of those olfactory type fragrances. This may be something that, you know, you could wear around your lady and she really enjoys. Granted, we wear all of our fragrances for us to enjoy them, hopefully, and then for other people to enjoy them as well. But we do have certain fragrances that we definitely wear in order to attract, you know, the attention of other people. And for whatever reason, every time I wore this fragrance, the sample at least, I always caught my wife's attention, which is a good thing. So I know in the beginning I spoke about the lavender and the aldehydes, but on the dry down, the gaiac wood and the opennix really stand up strong in this fragrance. The opennix giving you that sweet kind of smoky feel, and then the gaiac wood just obviously giving you that woody feel. Fresh wood though, not necessarily dry wood. It definitely works very well with the lavender and the lemon, the aldehydes and the absinthe. The 15 mLs like I have right here are priced at $70. They actually did just run a sale. I think it was like 20% off or something like that. So they were reduced down to $50, and I did pick this fragrance up and another fragrance that I will probably be reviewing in the next week or two because I want to give it some more wears. But the 75 ml bottle is still priced at $240. So it's not the easiest thing to pick up in regards to price, but you definitely get the quality of it. The value is definitely met in the scent. I think you will get, you know, your dollar's worth out of these fragrances. And as well, you don't have to spray them as much. 2 or 3 sprays, 4 at max, will definitely get you the projection and longevity that you are looking for. Projection being about 2 or 3 hours, longevity being about 10 hours or plus in every fragrance that I've tried from them. And Momento is no different. 3 hours on the opening projection, and once it starts to dry down, it goes for about a good 10 hours before it becomes like a skin scent, or I have to come up really close to smell it. And then even after that, it still lingers around for a couple of hours. So you definitely get in 12, maybe 13, 14 hours before the fragrance is just literally not there anymore. So price is up there a bit, but at the same time, you're getting the quality for it. So as far as when I will wear this, I really consider this to be a year-round scent. Obviously, with some of the notes like the Gaiac wood and some of like the tarragon, you would think fall, winter, which is really great for this time frame. But you could wear it in the spring and the summertime too. Maybe go a little bit lighter on the sprays, but the freshness in the open with the lemon and the absinthe, and I didn't even speak too much about the mid with the rose and the jasmine, it still gives it a more bright feel. It has some spiciness and some warmth to it, but I think it's met with some freshness that could work in any season at any time. So how will I rate this fragrance? I rate this fragrance a 10 out of 10. I know last time I may have given Shaman a 9 out of 10, and I may have deducted a point because of the price. After really reconsidering how I enjoyed that fragrance and how I enjoyed this fragrance, as well as the next one that I'm going to review, and then the other samples, you know, sometimes you have to spend that pretty penny to get the best quality. And Mint New York, from the fragrances that I do have and that I do enjoy, has provided that quality. It is a niche brand, so you can't find it everywhere, and not too many discounters have it either. I think you can find certain fragrances spread out across discounters, but you can't really grab the whole line from discounters. So it's not the easiest fragrance to shop for without going directly to the source. So sometimes that aligns with the price point. Like I said, quality is great. It has uniqueness to it while still bearing some similarities to certain fragrances when you think about barbershop or fougere type fragrances. And then the projection and longevity, you just can't beat it. Anything that lasts 10 plus hours really just makes your life easy. As long as you're dedicated to the fragrance that you're wearing that day, this fragrance, Shaman, some of the other ones, they're worth the beast mode performances, and you can't really beat that in my opinion. So for Momento, I give it a 10 out of 10. Alright guys, that was my time. Thank you for rocking with me. I would really suggest that you guys try out Momento from Mint New York. They have samples. I think the samples are around $6. So if you don't want to blind buy this fragrance, which I don't typically suggest and which I also didn't do. So yeah, you could grab the samples for about $5. I think they do have discovery sets too. I really didn't dive into it. I just grabbed all the samples whenever I made that particular purchase. I really think you enjoyed it the way you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please make sure to hit the like button, drop me a comment, and hit the subscribe button. I'm dropping videos as much as I possibly can, and I would hate for you guys to miss out. And until next time, be sure to smell good and smile. I'm out.